Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We will continue our A2 German grammar course. Everything I'm talking about is chronologically. There should be nothing that is completely new. If there is, feel free to always go back to my A1 grammar course to repeat or look something up. We will continue with our dative and accusative, compare the exercise, and continue with a nice segment about word position. So let's go. So last time it was a little grammarly, as I said, it was a little bit tricky. The position of accusative, dative, and how you build it is really essential to speak the German language in a good and efficient way. And I gave you some exercises. We will check it out together. If this is unfamiliar to you, go to my last video, check it out, and do the exercises by yourself. If you want, I can only recommend it. Du gibst dem Freund ein Buch. Die Großmutter erzählt dem Kind eine Geschichte. Peter gibt dem Ober das Geld zurück. I will stop myself for a second to explain a little bit again and repeat the parts of the sentence. Du is definitely our nominative, our subject. Dem Freund ist dative. We see this super easy if it's male because we have the M. As I said before, I really like this aspect, but do not rely on it. So dative for A2 grammar is the person we do something to or we give something. And ein Buch is accusative. In this case, it is the object that has been given or told or explained or anything like that. So you give the friend a book. Even in English, it makes a little bit of sense if we say him in dative. You give him a book. It's not you give he a book. This would be wrong. This is how you can imagine also this grammar, but of course a little bit more complex. The grandmother tells the child a story. Peter gives the waiter the money back. Here we have another aspect we talked about. It is the separable verb, zurückgeben, giving back, and we have the position accordingly. So let's keep reading. Robert bietet dem Gast ein Getränk an. Robert offers the guest a beverage. Anbieten, opening verb or separable verb. Klaus liest ihr den Text vor. Ihr, personal pronoun dative. Klaus reads her the text. Vorlesen, again a separable verb. Lisa bringt uns Obst mit. Lisa brings us fruit. Here we have to pay attention a little bit. We don't have any article, and Obst by itself does not have a plural anyway. It's one of those like water or music, stuff like that, without a plural option. Der Ober empfiehlt mir das Steak. Mir dative from ich is nominative, and mir is the dative option. The waiter recommends me the steak. Der Dieb stiehlt der Touristin die Kamera. The thief steals the tourist the camera. Claudia schickt ihrer Freundin eine E-Mail. Ihrer Freundin, possession, and in dative. In nominative, just so you know, I think you already know, but it would be ihre Freundin. But in dative, we also have to change it, unfortunately. It is ihrer. This is how you do the exercise. And we also want to check out a little bit more in detail the position of the words. So what we did now was the first sentence. Ich gebe der Studentin das Buch. Okay, what do we have here? If we check it out a little bit more detailed, we have two nouns or Substantive. We have die Studentin, das Buch. How do we see if it's a substantive? Of course, it has an article and written in a capital letter. Those are the two easiest ways to identify them. So I give the student the book. If there is two substantives, I hope I said correct in English, let's say two nouns, mostly, but not always, dative comes first and accusative comes second. If you would say, ich gebe das Buch der Studentin, the emphasis shifted a lot, and maybe someone will say, why is he or she saying it like that? But it's not wrong. Yeah. So mostly dative then accusative. It's a safe choice. Ich gebe ihr das Buch. Now we have the student, dative by the way, we know that, became the personal pronoun I talked before. So die Studentin became der Studentin in dative, and der Studentin became ihr. In English, it would be her. I give her the book. So now we have one personal pronoun, let's call it PP, and one noun. If this is the case, we have to say first this pronoun, pronomen, and then we have to say the thing we're talking about, the noun. This is the rule. So if you say, ich gebe das Buch ihr, this sounds really off. Everyone will understand you, but it's not correct. Same goes if you change, let me change color for accusative, das Buch, it's accusative. In this example, it's state. But if we want to change it with a personal pronoun, as you know, personal pronouns are also for things because the grammarly gender plays role, not the biological gender. So das Buch becomes an accusative S. Das Buch es. And now we have to change the position because it sounds much, much better if you say the pronoun first. Ich gebe es der Studentin. I give it the student, to the student in English. And you can see the dative is now here. So it doesn't matter in this example, let's call this 1 and this is 2. In 2, it doesn't matter what is dative or accusative for the position. It matters which one is a pronoun. If you say, ich gebe der Studentin es, people will look at you like you have no idea what you wanted to say, you know? As hard as it sounds, this is the reality. And now it gets even funnier. The third one, ich gebe es ihr. So what do we have now? We have two personal pronouns. We exchanged every noun in the sentence with a pronoun, just because we can. So we have here es, the accusative for the book, and then we have ihr, the her, which is dative. So if you have PP and PP, two personal pronouns, here, zwei Personalpronomen, then it changes. It must be first the accusative and then the dative, not like in the first one with a substantive, but the other way around. And the last one is for questions and answers. So of course, the question must start with a verb if it's not with a question word. So verb, bringt der Ober dem Gast das Bier. So here we have verb in the first position because it's a question, as I said. Then we have Subjekt. Then we have Dativ. And then we have our Accusative. Why? Because der Gast, the guest, das Bier, the beer, is two substantives, two nouns. Therefore, first the dative, then the accusative. Is bringing the waiter, the guest, the beer, if you want to say it word by word. Answer, ja, Nominativ, bringt es, Akkusativ, ihm, Dativ. Here we have PP and PP, two personal pronouns. Therefore, which rule applies? 1, 2, or 3? Of course, this rule applies. Accusative and dative. Okay, we will practice, of course, a little bit, and then our session for today is over. Let's check out the exercise. We do the first example together. We read, Empfiehlst du Max das Restaurant? Do you recommend Max the restaurant? And now we have a name here, and names make it a little harder because we don't know if it's accusative or dative. But of course we know. If you are unsecure, just say, okay, Max is a male name. How can I say it with a personal pronoun? And then you say ihm. And then you say, aha, it's ihm. So it must be dative. And of course, you also know that, as I told you, in A2, the person who receives something normally is dative. Das Restaurant is accusative. And because we have now two pronouns, as I said, we exchange the position. Ja, ich empfehle es ihm. Accusative and then dative. And of course, we have a question here. So we have the verb subject construction. And in the normal sentence as an answer, we have the subject and the verb. We have here 4 questions. Please check them out as a homework or an exercise or an activity, whatever you want to call it. I cannot emphasize this enough that you need to practice. Press pause, try to do them, and then we will compare. Liest du mir die Übung vor? Ja, ich lese sie dir vor. Schenkst du mir das Buch? Ja, ich schenke es dir. Bringst du Eva die Tasche mit? Ja, ich bringe sie ihr mit. Erklärst du uns den Text? Ja, ich erkläre ihn euch. I hope the color helped you to see the position of the accusative shifted in front because we have 2 personal pronouns. The dative, of course, mir became dir because it's a you question. So can you read it to me? Yes, I can read it to you and stuff like that. So mir, dir, Eva is a female name, so it's ihr, uns became euch. This is the position. Then we have, of course, some opening verbs. Vorlesen, to read to somebody. Mitbringen, to bring with someone. That's what it means. Okay, I think it makes sense. I really hope so, at least. And of course, I have some exercises for you to do on your own. Here we have another 5 or 6 statements or questions. Please check them out. Try to answer using only personal pronoun and get the grammar behind it. You don't have to do it, of course. We will correct them and check them out in the next video. I can only emphasize it and stress it that you should do them. I know it's just a YouTube channel, but I really try to give you like a lesson. And for you personally, it would be the best result if you do the exercises. I don't gain anything from you doing the exercises. I just think it's the best choice to improve your German really faster. This is it. Thank you so much for your support. Please like, subscribe. As you know, I try to post twice a week at least, and I put a lot of time and effort in my videos. So thank you so much for your support, and I will see you very soon. Bye.